going to ask Joe, my husband, to come and switch on the Scotch brick oven here, which you see. It is a wood-fired oven traditionally. They are not thermostatically controlled, these ovens. They have to be switched on. When the bakers come in at night, they come in at 10 o'clock at night, they switch on these ovens at 10 o'clock and they take 2 to 3 hours to bring up to temperature to bake the first batch of bread. It was a burning flame, which is what it is, and it creates oxygen in the oven, which is good for baking bread. It is the best form of oven. It's like barbecuing is the best form of cooking. This is a very healthy way for making good bread. Then when the bread is ready after 4 hours coming in, they switch off the oven and they load the oven. Now it takes 2 men to load that oven in 20 minutes. They can be called peel ovens. That piece of wood and head, that's called a P-double-E-L, peel, and they are loaded, and you will see that happening tonight, where they load them, and it takes 20 minutes for 2 men to put in about 160, 70 large 800 gram pan loaves into that, and it takes 2 men to load it, and they have it unloaded 15 minutes. But before it goes in, it has reached temperature, they switch it off, so the bread is actually being baked in a falling heat. So when they unload the oven then, they have to turn it on again for 20 minutes to give it another firing. But the original firing when they come in for 2 to 3 hours is the basis heat for that oven, for the night's work. But after each batch comes out, it has to be refired for 20 minutes. It's a lot of work in this world of today. So the bakers we have are passionate about what they do. They love their job, because if they didn't, the proof of the pudding would be when they come out. The oven has to be right, and that's only because you have your mind switched on. You can't turn it on like we're all used to at home with a domestic oven, or most bakeries have ovens that you turn on and they're thermostatically controlled, and when it reaches the temperature it cuts out. Not with these. They're only as good as the man working them. The man working them has to use his head as well, so he can't come in and just turn on the oven and forget all about it. He has to listen to it. He talks to the oven, and the oven talks to him. Very good way of making a living too, very wholesome. You know, you bake bread for someone, you're nourishing people. You're a doctor. My father used to say, you know, you're a doctor, you have to have it good and good quality for people, and that's what he was doing. He was nourishing and feeding the people around him. My grandfather, John Barron, who's in that portrait up there on the wall, he started the bakery in 1887, having returned from New York. His plan was, he was a trained baker, but he didn't want to continue it, and he got married to Nora Collender. And the plan was that he'd go to New York and work, and this is about 1885. And he went to New York, and she had a family, cousins there, who had a very big business. And they were the Brunswick and Collender Company, who made billiards tables. When he left, she was expecting her first child. She was with her first child, Mary Rose, and was the eldest of 12. And when she had the baby, she lost the heart to go to America. So sadly, he came back to his wife and his baby, sadly for him, and he started the bakery here. This premises was owned by her family, the Collender family. Her father gave them this property here, and they started a bakery here then. That we all reared in, my father and my grandfather. So this was a bedroom. A bedroom, and this is an ensuite. This was 2 bedrooms, but then we became an ensuite. My father slept in that bedroom there. It wasn't an ensuite. We had one family bathroom, but that was where my father slept. And this was a window, but since we did up the coffee shop, we closed up that window, and we closed up that window because the coffee shop got bigger, and there's a courtyard down there now. But we still have enough light if somebody lived here for a while, and they lived over the bakery. It has great memories, lovely, happy memories. We had a lovely childhood, very happy childhood. And it does bring back lovely memories, and the smell. And when I'd wake up in the morning, you'd hear the hum of the oven. my father baking, and you came down always to the waft and smell of beautiful fresh bread. The men that would come with them bags of flour, it would be maybe 4 ton of flour in total, however many bags of flour that was. They'd bring all those in, and then they would have a hoist there, and there was a big chain that went around one of the bags, and one man would be here and the other man would be pressing a button and it would rise up, and he'd pull it in over there, and then the hoist would come down again, and they'd put another bag up, and you know, you saw every 50 kgs of flour go up there. That's a nice memory, yeah. And then they'd sit and have tea with my father, and I was doing a tour of the bakery about 2 years ago, and this man said he used to deliver flour here and he loved meeting my father, and he always had to bring bread back. And another man said, and I delivered oil here. I was the oil man here. There was lots of men. It was a men's club from Fermoy, and they all had an association with the bakery. They were retired men, yes. So that was lovely. I got quite emotional. Father Joe took it over, and he took it over in the 30s. And then he got married in 1942, and he had 5 daughters, and I was the youngest, and all my sisters worked in the bakery, and they liked it, but they all got married in their early 20s and had their families, and I was the career lady. I came home and learnt the trade from my father and from my sister, the confectionery. And I carried it on from 1980 to 93. And then my husband, Joe Prendergast, joined me. He brought a lot of marketing skills. He was a Bachelor of Agriculture, but he enjoyed making good bread. And he enjoyed what I was doing, and I needed his expertise in the bakery. And now Joe is running the bakery effectively. Oh, we just need you now. That's great. Joe has just arrived.
Oh, good.
You must
Great.
have known. We have the sourdoughs done.
Why have you ordered? I haven't done now.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, good, really.
Yeah, look, it's proving. Yeah, it's our first time doing them for something like this.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
That's amazing, yeah.
It's our first time doing them for a television, yeah, for a camera. Oh, we make it here we make it now for the farmers market.
The farmers market, what you
Uh,
tell us about?
We were asked to do that, and we didn't really want to do it way back about 12 years ago.
You were asked.
An organisation, the Enterprise Board, which are people who try to set up and get in industries, small industries and small little farmer market. It was a culture that grew to reintroduce farmers markets were there years ago, but they were starting one off in Dungarvan, and they saw us as an anchor tenant. Because we were established business and we had a brand name, and if this it would be a great boost to the market, to these small cheese makers and these all the small little producers, that we would something that will say, well, Barron's are there, well, I can pick up my bread there, and that would bring people. And we did it. We did that because we said we'd do it for a while and step back from it. But it ended up, when you give, you receive. It went from strength to strength for us, unbelievable. And it was an awful lot of extra work for us at the time. We didn't really want to do it, but then we thought we should do it to help smaller people. And wow, is all I say. And that's true. So that's my life to date. I've always given and never given to get, to receive. Never, because that's not my nature, and I've never wanted anyway. But it has come back. Maybe not where you expect it to come back. It comes back from different places. But not from where maybe it is due to come back, but it comes from other areas. So I don't know, I'm just passing on my philosophy in life, and that's what I found it. And it has been great, yeah.